Welcome to Copilot Podcasts. You know what's wild? A lawyer recently got sanctioned for using AI that made up fake court cases. Meanwhile, a doctor discovered their AI assistant was giving slightly wrong medication dosages. Today, we're diving into how the legal and medical professions are creating ethical guardrails for AI use. By the end of this episode, you'll understand the new guidelines shaping AI use in law and medicine and why they matter for everyone's future.
And it couldn't come at a more critical time. The American Bar Association just released its first formal ethics opinion on AI in July 2024, while the American Medical Association has been rapidly developing comprehensive frameworks throughout 2024 and 2025. Let's start with the legal side. What exactly did the ABA say about lawyers using AI? Well, the ABA's guidance focuses on four key ethical obligations: competency, informed consent, confidentiality, and reasonable fees. They're essentially saying lawyers need to fully understand the AI tools they're using.
Wait, so lawyers can't just throw AI at everything and hope it works?
Exactly. The ABA specifically states that lawyers must exercise, and I'm quoting here, legal knowledge, skill, thoroughness, and preparation when using AI. They need to understand both the benefits and risks of these technologies.
That makes sense. You wouldn't want an AI hallucinating court cases that don't exist.
Right, and that's actually happened. The ABA's guidance is partly in response to real cases where lawyers got in trouble for not properly verifying AI-generated content.
How about on the medical side? What's the AMA doing?
The AMA has created what they call the Steps Forward Governance Framework. It's an 8-pillar approach to implementing AI in healthcare settings.
8 pillars? That sounds complex.
Well, it needs to be. According to AMA surveys, physician use of AI jumped from 38% to nearly 70% in just 1 year. That's a massive increase that requires careful oversight.
That's an incredible jump. What are some of these pillars?
They start with establishing executive accountability and forming working groups. Then they move into assessing current policies, developing AI-specific policies, and creating evaluation processes for vendors.
Sounds like they're really trying to build this from the ground up.
Absolutely. And here's what's interesting. Both the AMA and ABA are emphasizing that professionals need to be full partners in AI development, not just end users.
What do you mean by full partners?
According to Dr. Margaret Lozovatsky at the AMA, physicians must be involved throughout the entire AI lifecycle, from design and governance to integration and oversight.
That's quite different from just being handed a tool and told to use it.
Exactly. And the ABA takes a similar stance. They want lawyers involved in developing and implementing AI systems to ensure they meet ethical standards and protect client interests.
Let's talk about risks. What are the main concerns in both fields?
In healthcare, the AMA is particularly concerned about AI's potential to worsen bias, increase privacy risks, and introduce new liability issues.
Those sound like pretty serious concerns.
They are. And what's particularly worrying is that AI can sometimes offer seemingly convincing but incorrect conclusions that could affect patient care.
How about on the legal side?
The ABA is particularly focused on confidentiality. They're concerned about how client information is used and protected when it's processed by AI systems.
That makes sense. You wouldn't want sensitive legal information being used to train AI models.
Right. And both professions are dealing with the challenge of informed consent, making sure clients and patients understand when and how AI is being used in their case.
How are they handling that?
The AMA recommends clear transparency guidelines about when and how providers should inform patients about AI use. The ABA similarly requires lawyers to communicate with clients about AI use.
Interesting how similar the approaches are.
Yes, but there are some key differences. The AMA puts more emphasis on clinical validation, while the ABA focuses more on accuracy in things like legal citations and research.
Let's talk about implementation. How are these guidelines actually being put into practice?
The AMA has created a toolkit that helps healthcare organizations evaluate their existing policies and develop new ones specifically for AI.
And what does that look like in real terms?
It includes things like defining what counts as AI, spelling out permitted and prohibited uses, and establishing training requirements for staff.
How about for lawyers?
The ABA's guidance requires law firms to develop specific policies for AI use, including how to verify AI-generated content and protect client confidentiality.
That sounds like a lot of work for firms to implement.
It is, but it's necessary. Both professions are seeing such rapid adoption of AI that they need these frameworks in place now.
Speaking of rapid adoption, are there any numbers on how many lawyers are using AI?
The ABA hasn't released specific numbers, but we know that major law firms are already implementing AI tools for research, document review, and contract analysis.
And we mentioned that huge jump in physician adoption earlier.
Yes, that jump from 38% to 70% in 1 year really shows how quickly this technology is being embraced in medicine.
What about training? How are professionals learning to use AI properly?
The AMA has developed specific educational resources, including a CME series that teaches doctors about AI fundamentals and ethical considerations.
That's helpful. Is the ABA doing something similar?
Yes, they're providing guidance through their ethics opinions and developing educational resources to help lawyers understand their obligations when using AI.
Let's talk about the future. Where do you see this heading?
Both organizations acknowledge that their guidelines will need to evolve as AI technology develops. They're planning to update their guidance regularly.
That makes sense, given how fast things are changing.
Exactly. And both fields are likely to see even more AI integration. The key will be maintaining ethical standards while embracing innovation.
What about collaboration between the two fields?
That's actually an interesting point. There's potential for shared learning between legal and medical professionals about AI governance.
They do seem to be facing similar challenges.
Yes, and both professions have a fundamental commitment to protecting their clients' and patients' interests while adopting new technology.
What would you say is the biggest challenge going forward?
Keeping up with the pace of AI development while ensuring ethical guidelines remain relevant and effective.
That does sound challenging.
It is, but both the AMA and ABA are committed to regular updates and revisions of their guidelines as technology evolves.
So what's the key takeaway for our listeners?
That these professions are working to harness AI's benefits while protecting their fundamental ethical obligations to clients and patients.
And they're not just passive observers in this process.
Exactly. They're taking active roles in shaping how AI will be used in their fields.
Well, that brings us to the end of today's episode of Copilot Podcasts. Remember, whether you're a lawyer, doctor, or someone who might need their services, these AI guidelines are shaping the future of professional care and representation.
And they're ensuring that as AI becomes more prevalent, the core values of these professions, protecting clients and patients, remain paramount.
Thanks for joining us today. Next time you visit your doctor or lawyer, you'll know there are robust ethical frameworks guiding how they use AI to help you.